PCN brings all of Pennsylvania to your community, thanks to the support of Armstrong Cable. If you like what you see on PCN, thank Armstrong Cable and tell a friend.
This afternoon from Hershey Park Stadium, PCN presents the PIAA Boys AA Soccer State Championship game. The matchup, the 23-1 Green Dragons of Lewisburg High School, the 24-1 Quaker Valley Quakers. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. Boys AA State Championship alongside Brian Kaiser. My name is Bob McCool. A matchup of a team with great history against a program with great recent history. The Quaker Valley Quakers have been and won 6 state championships, but the last one coming all the way back in 2000. Lewisburg, on the other hand, the defending state champion. And that's pretty much what we're looking at, Brian, with this matchup of teams who have been here before, one very recent in Lewisburg.
Yeah, let's talk about this Lewisburg team because it's a team that comes into this game a lot different in a way. Even though they returned so many people from last year's team, they've had to fight through a lot of adversity, a lot of injuries this year. Just now maybe starting to get healthy and starting to gel as a unit. They have fought their way back, and it has been a very tough fight for them to get back here to Hershey.
Quaker Valley got the PIAA playoffs off to a rip-roaring start, thanks in large part to Landon Grant and the offense. They got things rolling to get themselves to this final.
Yeah, Landon Grant, he's number 10, 19 goals, 19 assists. Really, he's the guy who sets things up in the midfield area for this Quaker Valley team. He's a legacy guy, too. Third out of 3 brothers to be able to play for Quaker Valley, but the first one who gets a chance to play for a state championship game. He's had hat tricks in the first 2 state games. He was held out of the last one. It almost feels like he's overdue.
As for the Green Dragons on the other side, there's some brothers involved in this one as well. Joey Bangdia, part of the attack last year, right back to do it again in 2016. You
see him over there on the far right, number 20, Joey Bangdia, a Penn recruit. 24 goals this season, hasn't been completely healthy the entire year, has missed 5 games, as a lot of people have for this team. Had both goals in the semifinal win. Most determined player on this team, hardest working guy, and is his biggest critic. He's got a big goal here today to try to win back-to-backs for the first time in District 4 on a boys' side.
This is what we're looking at. It's the Boys AA Championship. Lewisburg taking on Quaker Valley. We'll introduce you now to the starting lineups for both teams and get you set for the Boys AA State Championship.
Their opponent, representing District 4's Heartland Conference, a record of 23 wins and 1 loss, the Green Dragons of Lewisburg Area High School. Your championship officials for today's game are Kurt Kohler, Ryan Dunkel, and Timothy Maurer.
Just refer to him as number 10.
And now let's meet the starting lineup. First off, for Quaker Valley, their head coach, Andrew Marshall, assisted by J.J. Vecchio and Kevin Kerr. Here is the starting lineup for Quaker Valley. Wearing number 2, senior defenseman Ike Lagnies. Number 4, a senior defenseman Owen Harkins. A junior forward, number 7, Ian Rogers. Wearing number 9, a senior midfielder, Walter Hupsch. At midfield, wearing number 10, junior Landon Grant. Senior defenseman, number 11, Duff Klaber. Wearing number 12, midfielder, junior Caleb Bender. A senior forward, number 16, Nate Carver. Senior forward, number 17, John Wicker. Freshman defenseman, number 31, Fritz Ryder. And starting in goal today, for the Quakers, a sophomore wearing number 1, Dom Lagnies. The Quakers of Quaker Valley High School. And now here's the starting lineup. For Lewisburg, their co-head coaches, Skip Kratzer, Ben Kettlewell, assisted by Terry Gerlinski and Larry Wyans. Here is the starting lineup for the Green Dragons. Wearing number 6, a senior midfielder, Michael Permiashkin. Wearing number 12, senior defenseman, William Brock. A senior defenseman, number 14, Harrison Grunlin. On defense, a senior wearing number 16, Wilson Fisher. In the midfield, wearing number 20, a senior, Joseph Bangdia. Also a midfielder, a senior, number 21, Davis Baylor. Senior midfielder, number 22, Zachary Kratzer. Wearing number 26, a junior defenseman, Nate Liscombe. Senior midfielder, number 27, Adam Cole. Wearing number 32, a senior defenseman, Samuel Rosevier. And starting in goal, a senior wearing number 66, Ryan Amon. The Green Dragons of Lewisburg High School. And now, ladies and gentlemen, prior to kickoff, we ask that you please rise. Gentlemen, please remove your hats. Veterans and current military, please salute as we honor the United States of America with the playing of our national anthem.
Boys AA State Championship, again, Quaker Valley out of District 7. They're the WPIAA title. It's their 8th overall title. They beat Shadyside Academy by a final score of 2-1. Quaker Valley 20 wins, 4 losses, and a tie on the season. Lewisburg 23 wins and a loss. District 4 champions. Their 11th District 4 title, their 6th in the last 7 years. The Green Dragons 23-1 on the season after going 25-0 a year ago.
And this Green Dragons team, a lot of pressure on them coming into this game, you would think. And I talked to their co-head coaches, Skip Kratzer and Ben Kettlewell, and specifically Coach Kratzer told me the pressure is off for this team as far as he's concerned. Their pressure was to get back to this game because the team, in the back of their mind, as many seniors as they had, in the back of their mind, the thought was, when is our last game going to be? When is our last game going to be? And now, I think he expects this team to really let loose on the field as sort of in an explosion of emotion and just relief that they were able to come back with a chance to defend. On the Quaker Valley side of things, they've been all about team, and head coach Andrew Marshall very clear about that this has been a very close-knit group, a group of players that really works for each other. They brought 10 of 11 starters back from a year ago, and this is the result, a berth here in the state championship game.
Good crowd on hand to watch this AA championship. Conditions are ideal right now on a Saturday afternoon in Hershey in November. Sun-splashed skies. Wind picks up from here and there. Every once in a while you look up and the flag is blowing as it is right now, and it's blowing from right to left. As you watch this game, the Quaker Valley in the black and white, the Green Dragons in the all-white with the green numbers, and a foul early on, and it will be an opportunity for Joey Bangdia and the Green Dragons right out of the gate.
Winning the foul is Zach Kratzer, senior, number 27, and a guy who has 1 goal on the year as a forward. That's because he's been only back for 3 weeks.
Bangdia 18 yards out, bullet out in front. It's loose out in front as the keeper Dom Lagniz couldn't catch it cleanly, and a corner kick coming up for the Green Dragons.
You see him holding the back of his head as there's a rush after that ball when he didn't catch it cleanly. He's going to have to regroup now. This Lewisburg team, lightning fast, very good possession squad.
Bangdia will set it in. Kratzer tried to bicycle kick it, couldn't time it, and it's loose out in front and ultimately cleared out of there by the Quakers. So a couple of early flurries for Lewisburg come up empty. Dom Lagniz, the sophomore, is the keeper. Senior keeper on the other side is Ryan Amon for Lewisburg.
I think the pace of this game, Bob, is going to be the determining factor. I think Quaker Valley needs to slow this game down, try to really make Lewisburg chase them quite a bit. For Lewisburg, this team is high octane. They move the ball quickly, and they look to really pressure you into mistakes on the defensive side. And as fast as they move, this is a team that a year ago, I mean, I was impressed as I've been with the squad a year ago. Different team, different circumstance, but really a lot of those key characters is still in place. And the possession that they are able to build, and actually with purpose, is the thing that impressed me most.
First opportunity to touch it for Ryan Amon. He had big shoes to fill. Logan Cho was outstanding as the keeper last year for Lewisburg. Ryan Amon, as a senior, steps in. He does have 17 shutouts on the season. This is the 25th game played by the Green Dragons, and in the first 24 games, a total of 8 goals surrendered for the defense and Ryan Amon.
Yeah, he's replacing the guy who has the PIAA record for career shutouts in Logan Cho in 61. You think, though, he learned something underneath and watching Cho play for all that time, and he's been tremendous for them this year between the pipes.
Controlled by Will Brock, set in motion for the Green Dragons. To Bangdia on the touch pass, looking for the give back to Adam Cole, closing quickly, but just a little bit off in terms of its connectivity. And it's still saved in the offensive half by Lewisburg. Cole from 30 yards out, turns, tries to set it back in motion. Looks to the near side, a little bit too far out of the reach as Davis Baylor has to go and run it down. Cutting off his path and forcing him over the end line is Fritz Ryder, and Quaker Valley, well played by Ryder.
I think it's extremely important for the Quakers here in the first 10 minutes or so, just to get used to the style of play that you're going to see out of Lewisburg.
Here comes the Quakers trying to push forward. Amon again quickly gets out there, gets his mitts on it, sets it back, and a long throw out to Joey Bangdia out near midfield. Bangdia will settle it back for Brock. And it'll slip, and it turns into an opportunity. Here's Ian Rogers, breaks away from a one defender, tries the left footer. Amon got a hand on it.
Amon was leaning over to the far post to try to protect that a little bit. Rogers saw that and tried to sneak it to the near post and gets a touch on it for the first corner kick for the Quakers.
So right now, Quaker Valley trying to make something work off of this. Looks like it's Landon Grant who will set it forward off the corner. Grant right out in front, cleared away. Right back will come Landon Grant for another corner kick.
That was Kratzer. No, check that. Adam Cole coming back from his defensive mid position to toe that over the side.
Grant went low, goes a little higher with this one. This one, a one-timer off the head, but too high.
It's a great opportunity that time for John Wicker, the senior who has 13 goals on the season for Quaker Valley. It went near post both times, and both times there was a little bit of an opening.
So the Quakers trying to strike off the corner kick for their first opportunity. And again, an early opportunity for Lewisburg off the direct kick from Bangdia. Went point blank right at the keeper. Dom Lagnice couldn't catch it cleanly, but Lewisburg, on the other hand, couldn't follow it up. They'd get a corner kick out of it, but they too were denied. Here again is Brock settling it, looking up ahead for Bangdia, but too far out in front.
The other thing about this game, and we're seeing from both these teams, the counterattack ability of Quaker Valley. We're seeing just the creativity that's shown by Lewisburg. These two teams are going to be high octane the entire time. And I think that's where it's going to be important, where both teams rest their guys occasionally, get a little bit of help for them, keep guys fresh, because the pace of this game is going to be frantic.
Here comes Quaker Valley with the push. Out ahead of the pack is Ian Rogers. He had a run a moment ago. This is going to end up in another Landon Grant corner kick for Quaker Valley, the third.
Rogers is about as hot a scorer as they've got right now. Scored the sole goal in the semis against Shadyside and had another 2 against Karn City in the quarters.
So again, Grant this time from the opposite corner. Out half the head this time of Owen Harkins over the top.
Well, it's dangerous what they're attempting to do right now for Lewisburg defensively, because they are allowing man marking in the box, and Quaker Valley on 2 straight times has out-jumped them in the box and has gotten headers away, both over the bar, as Harkins misses this time. You see that one go just high.
Ryan Amon under siege just a little bit right now thanks to the corner kick work of the man with it, ball on his foot, Landon Grant. However, Bangdia comes from behind to poke check it away to Adam Cole. As right now, Quaker Valley maintaining control in the offensive push as we've played 6 minutes and 45 seconds of this boys AA championship. Settled in the middle field by Caleb Bender to Grant. Grant noticeable by those bright red orange shoes he wears. Bangdia, similar style with the orange shoes on the opposite side. Here comes Brock. Brock runs past one defender, but closing quickly was Caleb Bender to take it away.
Up, Black, up, let's get up.
Harrison Grunland on the opposite side for Lewisburg. Again, maintains and gets control. Tries to get it ahead for Zach Kratzer, son of one of those head coaches. As Brian said, Skip Kratzer, Ben Kettlewell, combined co-head coaches. See that a lot more and more in the game of soccer. These two have had this partnership now for 5 years and looking for 2 straight state championships. Got to think it works pretty well.
You've got to have 2 guys that know each other very well, trust each other, and really know how each other think, because if you've got a disagreement with 2 guys who are co-coaches, who's going to be the voice that ends up winning out?
Who breaks the tie? That's always the question. Here comes Bangdia. This one from about maybe 10 yards further back than where he was before off the free kick. And this time he tries for the centering pass, closing quickly but cleared momentarily, but still loose out in front. Trying to time it and get through the middle of the pack was Davis Baylor. He got a head on it but never got control. Bangdia on the other side gets control. Tries for the centering pass, but it's stripped away. Well played by Landon Grant. Feeds it up ahead, looking for Ian Rogers on the run. Amon gets there first.
Amon standing all the way up at his 18 when the ball's on the other end of the field. And that was important because that through ball had an idea. It was going to be Quaker Valley who got to it first, but Amon, the keeper, comes out playing that sweeper-keeper position that's more and more popular in today's game.
Talked about the coaching situation for the Green Dragons. For Quaker Valley, Andrew Marshall's in his 2nd season. He's got 28 wins, 11 losses, and 4 ties. But he took over for a legend at Quaker Valley High School. Gene Klein was there for 29 years. He won over 500 games, and he won those 6 PIAA titles we mentioned in the Open. It's been a while, however, for Quaker Valley since they played for a PIAA state championship, or I should say won a PIAA state championship. As we take a look at the co-coaches, as we mentioned a moment ago, for Lewisburg, Skip Kratzer and Ben Kettlewell in their 5th season as the co-head coaches, and a combined 28-1 over the last 2 years pending the outcome of today's game. And there's Andrew Marshall. Gene Klein won it in 85, 1991, 93, 95, and 96, and they were declared co-champions with Fleetwood in 2000, a game that went to 4 overtimes before they declared co-championships, before the PIAA ultimately settled on the idea of using either sudden victory and then eventually penalty kicks to determine state championships. But in 2000, Fleetwood, there's a handball that's going to result in an opportunity now for Quaker Valley, as instinctively Nate Liscombe got a hand on it.
And we're going to see a card here too, because it was an intentional handball. So that is going to mean that Liscombe is going to have to sit for 5 minutes. The rule is there for a cooling off period. You don't need a cooling off for this, but the rule is still what it is, and it's a warranted card because of the intentional handball. He just lost where he was for a moment.
So Aaron Moyer will come in for him, but it is a yellow card. Again, 2 yellow cards would be equal the red, and then you're playing a man short. But Liscombe, the junior, will have to come out for the mandatory sit-down period before he can get back into the game.
Dangerous spot for a free kick, just 25 yards out from goal.
And it is Landon Grant, man we highlighted in the Open. He goes low, touched, offline. I believe that was Rogers. It was, closing quickly, trying for the timer, but not there.
I think the fact that they were making that near post run absolutely shocked Lewisburg. They were late reacting to that one. Play deemed onside, and it was not one was intended to be a shot immediately. It was supposed to be a pass to Rogers, and Rogers just touches it wide.
Let me correct myself. It was not Ian Rogers. It was Owen Harkins coming up from behind. This is Rogers trying to work his way past the defender. Does, turns, fires high.
Putting all sorts of pressure right now on the Lewisburg net. Deflection on that play ends up being made by Rosevier.
And so another corner kick, the fourth already for Quaker Valley. So Lewisburg had that early opportunity, and it's been the Quakers ever since. Now we're 10 minutes in as you see the blistering right footer from Ian Rogers. There they try to time it again with Grant looking for a hard closing John Wicker, but again, Wicker last touches it, goal kick coming up for Ryan Amon.
And that's 3 straight to the near post that they've attempted, and now Lewisburg looking for that. Now, if they're capable of doing it, this is when the next time they have a corner opportunity, now you're driving that ball to the opposite post.
Amon kind of mishit this one a little bit, and it's going to go right out of bounds towards the Lewisburg bench, and quickly right back into action comes Quaker Valley and Fritz Reiter with the toss. Gets it to Grant, who feeds it back to Walter Hupsch. Hupsch to Caleb Bender in the middle. Centering pass, Grant. Rogers can't get there fast enough. Kratzer pokes it away.
Grant had a chance at that one, but the hard first touch betrayed him and never was able to get the shot off. I think he was shocked that he had so much room as there was miscommunication defensively between the center backs.
Davis Baylor, nice centering pass. Here's Bangdia, one on his right, one on his left, but he's stripped of it.
That's a great job by the center back there, Owen Harkins. Actually, his form on that play reminds me of his head coach, Andrew Marshall, who played professional soccer for many years as a center back. I've seen many challenges for him when he played with both the City Islanders and with the Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
Again, Chase, just to finish that thought on the man that he replaced, Gene Klein. He retired 2 years ago and turned things over to Andrew Marshall. Gene Klein got his team here and won 6 straight championships, the last in 2000. The last win in 2000. They were last here in 2005 where they were the runner-up in Class A, losing to Christopher Dock. Now we're getting a whistle and a foul called again against Lewisburg and an opportunity for the push for Quaker Valley.
Rosevier a little bit too much over the back. So an opportunity to restart and a quick one taken.
23 minutes in, we remain scoreless. Quaker Valley 5 shots on goal.
And I love the way that they've come out and attacked. The thing that I noticed more than anything else about this Quaker Valley team, the tremendous first touch that they've shown in this game, it's allowed them to maintain the possession against a team that thrives on it.
Hupsch with the center looking for Nate Carver, but on a bounce, Amon gets there first. Adam Cole spins, works his way around a defender, finds Davis Baylor on the opposite side. Baylor now will work his way back to the middle. Look, trying to get it to Aaron Moyer. That's not there. Moyer tried for the header. Bangdia got a foot on it, but couldn't get it on goal.
And all it took was a move to the right, move back to the left. It frees up some space and gives you some running lanes right in the middle of the field where both the header and the foot of Bangdia had opportunities. Bangdia just wide on the first good attempt here for Lewisburg.
Quaker Valley quickly pushes it back into their half. Look for the center for Rogers, but again, Amon there to cut down any angle. Amon on a hop, gets it across midfield for Aaron Moyer. Grant works it back to Bender, stripped from behind, and here comes Davis Baylor down the near side. Tried for the touch to Moyer, a little bit behind him. Rosevier up front for Bangdia, centering pass, nobody there. Grant takes it back the opposite way for Quaker Valley. Feeds it up ahead, looking for Wicker. Wicker from the left side. Try to feed it back for Fritz Reiter. Reiter will get control. Again, centering pass, ends up on a hop in the goalie's hands.
And when he tries to get that ball in, he's hoping that somebody is reading his mind, making that run. Nobody had recognized for that time that Reiter was willing to make that pass.
Quaker Valley, the District 7 champion, they beat Shadyside Academy 2-1 to win their 8th WPIAL title. Again, another whistle on the field. This one getting a foul against Lewisburg. The Quakers then went into the PIAA playoffs. First up, Bald Eagle area, the District 6 runner-up. It was easy pickings. They beat them 7-0. Then they took on the District 9 champion, Karnes City. They won that one 8-2 before a rematch against Shadyside Academy, the team they beat in the WPIAL championship. They beat them again in the PIAA semifinal, 1-0. So you combine what they did in the PIAA playoffs and what they did in the WPIAL playoffs, 7 games combined. They've outscored their opponents 29-7. This one off the foot of Amon, a little off the side of his foot a little bit. Davis Baylor tried to get control of it.
Yeah, they were definitely challenged more in the WPIAL this year too, because you had Shadyside with a couple of close games in the semifinals, a 1-goal victory over Beaver that they were behind in that game by a score of 2-1 before coming back and winning.
Late whistle, but the right call is Zach Kratzer is going to get called for the push from behind.
And the quick restarts, very prevalent in club soccer, and the influence of that club soccer on this Quaker Valley team. You see that a lot more in that game. Instead of having to set up, you get it going quickly before the other team can adjust defensively.
Nice move by Will Brock, sheds himself of a defender, centering pass for Bangdia. Bangdia looks for somebody, nothing there but Quaker Valley defenders. Good move by Brock, but Bangdia couldn't capitalize.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of great individual skill from these teams. It's probably going to come down as many times as we see individual greatness creating a goal. I really think in this game it's going to be team unity, where the team that's able to put something together and string a few passes together, get that linkage in the scoring opportunities, that's the team that's going to come out on top.
Nate Liscombe back into the game after sitting out the 5 minutes after the yellow card. He will come back in now with 22 minutes remaining and giving a breather now to Michael Permiashkin. Nice touch by Kratzer. Tried to essentially feed it ahead to himself and get rid of a defender. Now a collision between two players.
He's getting yellow.
Yep. Kratzer had just been whistled for a foul a moment ago for a push from behind, and now he's going to get a yellow card for another aggressive move.
Well, let's see. It hasn't been shown yet.
Nope.
No, they're just going to say it was a hard challenge, a definite foul. No question about that, as he got called over. It didn't seem like it was a frustration thing either, and I think that might be the thing that keeps him on the field. The fact that it was just him coming in, challenging hard. He's a big target forward, a guy that may not score a ton of goals. Of course, it's only his 3rd week back after being injured for most of the season, but he does that dirty stuff for this team. The stuff that doesn't show up necessarily in the scoring column, a lot of those things that a forward does, holding the ball up, being able to wait for other guys to come up and be able to set the table for people as they get into the offensive attack.
His father is Skip, one of the co-head coaches, so father and son getting an opportunity to play for a state championship for the 2nd straight year. We are 19 minutes in. We remain scoreless. Off the head of Wicker. Couldn't really control it, but Amon will instead.
Kratzer had one of the 4 goals last year against South Park. The Bangdia brothers both had goals, and then it was Adam Cole, who had the other goal. All 4 of those guys back, although Tommy Bangdia has not been able to play due to injury.
There's Joey, settles it back. Long distance shot on a couple of hops from off the foot of Adam Cole. Dom Lagnese, who had not been really a part of the action for a while because of Quaker Valley's offense, gets his hands on it.
Yeah, that early touch that he bobbled a little bit, and since that time, it's probably been the first time in about 15 minutes we've even said his name.
Just a sophomore. Older brother Ike is in that backline defense as, again, Lewisburg tries to push forward. Bangdia will get a corner kick.
And it was deflected just enough, and I think that wrong-footed Lagnese, who was looking to protect his back post because he saw where Bangdia was going, and the deflection almost snuck it into the near post.
Mateo Burness will check into the game. Burness had a game-winning goal in the first in the win in the District 4 final. Again, they will beat Midwest in the District 4 championship game. As the opportunity again, it's Kratzer. A little bit too high from above, but this one will be another corner kick coming up.
Watch this reaction save by Dom Lagnies. We get the chance after this corner, hey, because the siege is not over.
Bangdia. Kratzer again gets a head on it, but nothing there.
That reaction save from Lagnies, here it is. The in-swinger comes in, it was chipped inside, and just a flick, and the quick push over the top.
First touch by Aaron Moyer, and then it was Kratzer who was there as well. But Lagnies gets just enough to keep it out. We remain scoreless. 21 minutes into a 40-minute first half. In the middle of the field, Hubsch has a little bit of daylight. To the far side they work. Hubsch to the middle for Rogers. Harrison Grundlund battling there defensively for Lewisburg. Kept in by Harkins. Nate Carver working that far side of the field for Quaker Valley. Gets it quickly in for Rogers. Ian Rogers works past one defender. Can't get past the second. Knocked away, but another corner kick coming up for the Quakers. They're fifth.
And perfectly willing right now, if you get beat down there on that goal line, just try to squeeze them off. Don't give them a chance to cross the ball. We'll give up the corner and defend it. That's been the mindset so far of the Green Dragons.
Freshman Frankie Fernandez will check in now for the Quakers. There's an opportunity off the deflection. Caleb Bender with one more opportunity, but he's well wide off the mark.
A couple of great chances as Quaker Valley. I think they're really dangerous on the corners because you've got a keeper for Lewisburg and Amon who does not come off of his line on those outswingers at all. And that allows a great jumping team and to get a chance as we see that final opportunity from Bender sailing high.
Michael Permiashkin will check back into the game now for Lewisburg. Aaron Moyer comes out. Quakers with 6 shots now to 3 for Lewisburg. None have found the net either side. We remain scoreless with 17 minutes remaining in the first half. Joey Bangdia, a little bit of room to move. Settles it over here for Baylor.
Get up, Black! Up! Get up!
Landon Grant, touch pass up ahead. Hubsch, back for Wicker, back in the game. Wicker with the center. Amon gets higher than everyone else. Maintains control. The Lewisburg fans give a round of applause for their senior keeper who wins the battle.
Fernandez was making that run right towards him. It's the advantage of being able to use your hands as a keeper. You are going to be able to have a little bit more of an extension. Unless somebody has some unbelievable ups, you're going to be able to jump over top of them.
Will Brock for Lewisburg. Middle of the field. Bangdia with some separation if he can time it. Bangdia centering pass and a great job of getting out and getting his hands on it. Dom Lagnies makes sure there's no opportunity out in front.
I have no idea how he ran that ball down, but that all is set up because of an over-rotation in one of the first times in this game. Quaker Valley defensively a little bit out of sorts as they came too much to this side. The through ball then, because of that, because they had to adjust back, allows Bangdia to try to run on that and cross it. A great job by the keeper making sure there's no chance.
Yeah, that would not have been a shot. It would not have been able to get in on the angle, but the keeper has no idea what might be lying and lurking in his peripheral vision. He's got to make sure that there is no opportunity, and once he has his hands on it, as he springs out and gets his hands on it, Dom Lagnies makes sure there's nothing of an opportunity for Lewisburg.
There were a couple of white jerseys lurking, so that's why it was important that he came over and did that.
Caleb Bender, they work out to get back in.
Away!
Rogers, now Wicker. Trying to settle it in space. There is no space. Lewisburg too quick. Nice move by Will Brock to maintain possession from the Green Dragons. Brock trying to get it up ahead for Kratzer, but he's put it behind him. And now a little bit of a push and shove between Harkins and Kratzer. And Harkins will get called for the foul.
And this is the right call because there was a breakaway opportunity coming up, and Harkins, after getting, he's the guy who stepped over the ball, accidentally misplayed it, and when he realized he was beat, reaches over to stop that opportunity. He has to come out of the game now for 5 minutes of his own.
And so Ashish Suba will check in his replacement. And again, Harkins, that center back, and here comes the frustration that results in the yellow card.
Just grabs, pulls him to the ground. The correct call from our officiating crew. And this is a tougher substitution now because the center backs normally have that communication issue where they work together all the time. They very seldom ever come out of games. And now Harkins and Kleber is not Harkins and Kleber anymore. It's now a different guy who comes in instead in Suba.
Bangdia off the opportunity. And now here comes the Green Dragons to keep it in play. Brock throws it where no one is. Off the foot, however, of Duff Kleber. Couldn't really get an angle on it. Davis Baylor, Bangdia through traffic. Bangdia centering pass, great save by Lagniz. Still loose out in front and misfired over the top. Dom Lagniz quickly closing and denying.
I'm not 100% sure that he stopped Permiaskin and it wasn't the post. Have to get a better look at that, but he was there to try to make sure that it wasn't going to be able to get in. Tremendous vision from Bangdia. His understanding of the game. Let's look at this. Look at him dribbling through players, finds a man on the opposite side. That was the post. That thing ricocheted straight out off of that post. Great opportunity set up there. The best goal-scoring opportunity of the game for the defending champs.
Here come the Green Dragons right back at it.
It's an intelligent Lewisburg team, too, who also knows that the starting center back is out of the game. They're pushing the attack right now. And what Quaker Valley did instead, Suba is not the guy who's back there. Caleb Bender drops back into the center defensive role from his position up the field.
Again, the yellow card forcing that center back, Owen Harkins, out.
Get up, get up.
And Dom Lagniz, the keeper's best friend, as they always say, is that post.
And he looks over at his coach and wisely slows things down because Coach Marshall right now knows he wants his center back in the game. He needs to slow the pace of the game down while that's going on. You know, sometimes your positioning is great, you make some great saves, and sometimes the iron takes care of it for you.
Here's Wicker, near side. 12.5 minutes left to play, first half. We remain scoreless. Great opportunities both ways. Here come the Quakers trying to push it back. They've had 6 opportunities. Have had 5 different corner kicks as well. 4 shots for the Green Dragons. Lewisburg with wins in the PIAA playoffs. First up, it was District 2 runner-up Wyoming Seminary. That was a 4-0 shutout. Then it was the District 1 champion Lower Moreland. They won that game 2-1 in overtime. It was a game they were down 1-0 with 5 minutes left in regulation. Brian talked about the end of the line for some of these seniors for Lewisburg. That end of the line almost came a little bit sooner than they thought in the PIAA quarterfinals. And they took on District 12 champion Lansdale Catholic in the semifinals, won that 2-1. Here's Baylor trying to push it up ahead. Kick back, Moyer centering pass, time not there.
Bangdia jumped over top of the ball. He misplayed and misjudged where that was coming in because that was a tap-in on a volley that I think he makes 4 out of 5 times.
And so the score remains 0-0 with 11 minutes left to go. We expected the action to be fast and furious in this AA championship. It's lived up to the billing as Landon Grant has it in the middle. But to this point in time, no one yet has found the back of the net.
You have 0-0 games that are not exciting. This is not one of those. This has been all action from the get-go. Both teams sending very dangerous, seeking balls into the box and having chances that have been denied.
Scoreless, but not for lack of effort. Here's Grant to Davis, Ian Rogers right at point blank. The keeper, Ryan Amon, just picks it out of the air.
Rogers was looking for goal number 17 on the season, but unfortunately for him, when he tried to force that ball, sent it directly at Amon, who was in the exact spot he needed to be to cover as much ground as he could. Recipient of a simpler save than could have been.
Now we're getting a trip called against Quaker Valley, and a golden opportunity again for Lewisburg from about 21 yards out.
And that's Bender who's stepping in as that center back, going over there, and he's the guy who ends up tripping right outside of the box. So a dangerous free kick opportunity coming up for Lewisburg, and this is where Joey Bangdia, over his entire career, has been a master.
24 goals on the season for the senior. This one too high. Really not anything remotely close to the kind of result Bangdia could have ever wanted, as Kratzer will now come back in. And into the game as well for Quaker Valley for the first time comes Dom Ryder, a freshman.
They tried to get Harkins in the game because he had to wait until the 9:30 mark. The substitutions took place at the 9:36 mark. They tried to get him to the line in time, and he was not allowed in. He will come in on the next stoppage.
So Joey Bangdia with some serious opportunities in this first half. He walks away after that direct kick with the head in the hands, knowing he's had his chances. The end result of that, really not even remotely close to what he's thinking. He wants to at least get it on goal. And now we're going to get that opportunity as the ball did roll out of bounds, and so Harkins can now check back in inside of 8 minutes and 40 seconds left to go as Suba will come out.
And Bender has done what he's needed to do. He stemmed the tide while his center back had to sit out of the game for 5 minutes. And now Harkins reassumes that role, and Bender goes back up the field into that defensive mid position. It's a 4-3-3 that this team plays, where those midfielders all pretty much in a central location, and they have to be very, very fluid in the midfield. And they have been extremely dangerous here in this first half with what they've been able to do and the balls they've sent into the box.
Go. Get there, Will, no foul. There we go.
Frankie Fernandez trying to work his magic against the defense of Davis Baylor. Last touch by Fernandez, goal kick comes up for Lewisburg.
He thought he was going to sneak Baylor, thinking that I'm not going to give him much room to the goal side. He's probably going to just drop it back out. Baylor would have none of it, pressured it, and won the goal kick.
Let me correct myself. I said it was Davis. It was Brock, Will Brock, who was back there battling with Fernandez. This is Brock again. He's got Baylor on his right, feeds it ahead to him. Baylor gets by one defender with a nice move. Feeds it up ahead. Kratzer, point blank, right there, not there. Second opportunity is snuffed. Second opportunity was Baylor.
Sliding player inside, and then Grant gets pulled down by Baylor on the ricochet just at the top of the box. A couple more opportunities there for Lewisburg as they have now started to assert themselves in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, that was Kratzer, and I'm not sure that one didn't hit the post again.
I think it did, and I think it hit it square. You had the goalie who was in position to stop anything that was not going to hit the post. There wasn't much room there.
Here's Harkins now back on the field in that center back position, as we said. Gives it back to his cohort back there, Klaber.
That was a good save by the keeper. And on that replay, you can see, definitely got the feet to it.
Fourth of the game for Dom Lagniz as his counterpart, Amon, comes rushing out. He has officially one save. 6:20 left to go in the first half. As we said, scoreless, but not for lack of effort.
Yeah, and even the numbers for the keepers right now as far as saves, and does not tell the real story of how many chances there have been and how many dangerous balls that have been played. Both these teams just have a real tendency to be able to pick out that right spot, know the right time to attack.
Quaker Valley with 5 corner kicks. They've got 7 unofficial shots in this first half. They're going to get a 6th corner kick coming up here.
Let's see if they can, once again, with Amon staying back on his line with this outswinger coming in from Grant, let's see if they can get something where they're able to get above with their leaping ability.
Harkins can't get high enough. Again, Owen Harkins coming from behind, trying to get above everyone else, but he just couldn't get high enough as the corner from Landon Grant just a little bit too far out of his reach.
And I don't know necessarily that that ball ever came in. Where they're placing the ball, it looks like they are saying, though, that there was a foul instead of, and that ball bent back into the field of play, but never went completely over the end line, so it is still going to be a foul that ends up as the result.
Baylor to Cole to Bangdia. Bangdia double teamed and taken away. Grant makes one-man miss. Landon Grant chip up ahead, looking for Rogers. Too far out in front.
Tremendous individual effort for Grant, getting around Liscombe in the midfield, and as soon as that's missed, all of a sudden the defensive 4 have to scramble. They have to determine who's going to step out on Grant, who's going to get back defensively. All 4 drop back defensively, allowed Grant the opportunity to try to flip that ball over the top.
You're watching live coverage of the PIAA Soccer Championships, courtesy of Pennsylvania Cable Companies. PCN is funded by Pennsylvania Cable Companies and receives no tax dollars. Thank your cable provider for PCN. Looking for Grant, stripped momentarily by Nate Liscombe. Rogers has it stripped off of his foot as well. Hustles back to his feet, gets control. Working it from Nate Carver.
Great work. Away! Out of here. Wait!
Baylor, Kratzer gets some separation. Here comes Zach Kratzer. Gets by another defender. Touch pass, not going to happen. Didn't get enough on it. Harkins was there to take it away.
Too many numbers there, but Kratzer was looking for the cross, saw he wasn't going to have the angle, saw Bangdia was too well covered and tried to buy himself some time with that little touch to the inside. It was a cheeky move, but one that Quaker Valley was able to get back en masse to defend.
Again, Harkins quick to the ball. Very, very active in that center defensive position for Quaker Valley. Here comes Landon Grant, who's logged several miles in this first half. He has run a long way on both sides.
It's part of that 3-3-4 formation because it requires those central midfielders to do a ton of work from box to box.
Frankie Fernandez, again, battling with Brock. Amon sets it back in motion. The toss up ahead for Bangdia.
There are going to be some tired legs from both these teams after this game because these two teams have just, as we said in the outset, we expected to have a game that just had a frantic pace, and we have had just that, end-to-end action from both of these squads.
Two teams that could fill it up over the course of this season, right now being stoned in this state championship game. Dom Lagnies, the sophomore keeper for Quaker Valley, has 9 shutouts on the year. This is a Quaker Valley team that has surrendered just 30 goals in 23 games. And we mentioned that Lewisburg has surrendered just 8 goals in 24 games. Seems like Amon's punts have not been very accurate. He seems to be hitting it off the side of his foot on more than one occasion. Quaker Valley not really able to take a whole lot of advantage of it.
It's one of the nice things about being erratic with the punts. You can't just sit where you expect it to be.
See, every time it's been off the side of his foot to the near side of the field. Cole pushes it ahead. Touch pass off the foot of Kratzer over the head of Bangdia. Davis Baylor tries to run it down, runs into a collision, and a goal kick coming up for Quaker Valley. Michael Pertmy-Ashkin will check back into the game now for Lewisburg. And Baylor will come out. inside of a minute to go in the fast and furious first half. Cole knocked away by Hubsch. 30-second push here coming up for Lewisburg.
Got to maintain your concentration just for a little bit more. How many goals are scored in that late time of the game when you all of a sudden find the effects of fatigue?
Cole tries to get it to Bangdia, can't get it anywhere. 15 seconds now left to go with the ball back at midfield.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
And ultimately cleared away, maybe appropriately, to end this first half off the foot of Owen Harkins. And that will bring the boys AA championship game to the halftime break after 40 minutes in this AA state final. Quaker Valley nothing, Lewisburg nothing. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more from Hershey Park Stadium live around the state of Pennsylvania here on PCN.
If you think the level of competition is impressive, wait till you see the level of coverage. High school meets high impact with MaxPreps.com, America's most comprehensive source for high school sports. Find out how your local teams compare, who's in the hunt to be state champs, and which teams and players are leaving their stamp on the national stage. Get pumped on your high school teams. Log on to MaxPreps.com.
These days, life is busy, but amazing. From the sci-fi brilliance of technology to the existence of toast, we move at a crazy pace until this happens. Time for MedExpress. Walk right in, get the care you need, and get right back at it. MedExpress, because life is urgent.
Packed with 9 essential nutrients, low-fat chocolate milk can be an important part of your recovery routine. Refuel with chocolate milk after your next workout.
Are you ready for some football? The 2016 High School Football Championships kick off Thursday, December 8th, and make it to the end zone Saturday, December 10th. A full weekend of high school football championships. You can catch the ball live on cable with PCN or streamed live on PCN Select. Go to PCNTV.com for the complete schedule or to subscribe to PCN Select.
Are you a current PCN Select subscriber? Download the new PCN Select app today from any online app store. Now you can watch video on demand, access special live event streams, watch the live network, or visit the PCN store without leaving the app. The new PCN Select app is a fast, easy way to access the programs you love, anytime, anywhere. Download the new PCN Select app today.
So you say you like sports? Find out why your friends and neighbors are watching. Your ticket to exclusive access to high school and collegiate games across the state. Whether you watch on cable or online, for all things Pennsylvania, including sports, there's only one. On cable and online, only on PCN.
Back at Hershey Park Stadium, the boys AA championship. Everything's sweet in the city of Hershey, and right now Lewisburg and Quaker Valley 0-0 is our score in this AA final. Alongside Brian Kaiser, my name is Bob McCool. We started this broadcast talking about the pedigree of these two programs and their tradition. Quaker Valley 6 state titles, Lewisburg looking for 2 in a row, and clearly there was no semblance of tentativeness on either side in half number 1.
No, each of these teams just took the game right at each other. So we go right to our highlights package. One thing you're not going to see, and that is a goal, but you are going to see a plethora of chances for each of these squads. Quaker Valley had the better of the chances in the early going. I mean, you're seeing good defensive presence around, some shots here and there. Neither keeper, I don't think, had to make a tremendous save in the first half, but each one was tested enough, as you're seeing both of them being in good position. Defense many times, wait, that's the one really big one that was made by Lagnice of Quaker Valley, pushing his shot over the bar from Kratzer. But each team had their opportunities. Each team has been extremely dangerous in this first half. It's been high action, high pace. I'm going to tell you, if out of the 6 games we've had so far, if there was one that I said there's no way we're going to be scoreless at halftime, this was the one. And this is the only one so far. We've had no goals through the first half of play.
Right, but there's been plenty of action, and it'll be very interesting. We always talk about right after halftime, and the game can change so quickly depending upon maybe adjustments that either team is making. Obviously, both coaches have to be happy with the way their teams are playing. There is, as we said, no tentativeness at all. So it's not like you've got to kick the aggressiveness up a little bit. You got to get lucky somewhere along the line.
You have to have that right touch, the right bounces. And I think the main thing that you're doing during halftime, both coaches probably supplying oxygen, little thigh massages wherever they can. I mean, just get these guys ready to go, because we may be in for another 40, or we may be in for even more, how these teams have been so far. I'd be surprised if we're scoreless. I wouldn't be surprised if we're still tied. These two teams are very, very evenly matched. It's been a fun first half.
Yeah, the pep talk at halftime might be, keep up the good work, boys. Let's go do it again. We'll see what happens in half number 2 when we get back to Hershey Park Stadium. 0-0 our score at the break.
Brought to you by Eastern Pennsylvania Youth Soccer, which brings you the U.S. Youth Soccer National Championship Series, President's Cup, and Turkey Hill Challenge Cup in the spring of 2017. For more information, go to epysa.org. TicketTap, the exclusive digital ticket provider of the PIAA. For the best events, the best tickets, and no lines, it's TicketTap. Get your online tickets to the best events at tickettap.com. Attended by more than 500,000 people, watched on PCN by almost 2 million people, the Pennsylvania State Farm Show. Relive all the excitement and the celebration of our state's great agricultural heritage. The PCN Farm Show Highlights DVD includes your favorite moments from many of the major events, like the high school rodeo, sheep to shawl, and the Tractor Square Dance. Bring your favorite memories home from this year's show and from previous year's shows with the PCN Farm Show Highlights. Visit the PCN store at pcntv.com to order your copy today. Looking to stay current with state politics anytime, anywhere? Working late and can't make it to the big game? Don't miss a minute of the action with PCN Select. Public affairs coverage, live sports, Gettysburg Battle Walks, the Pennsylvania Farm Show, and much, much more. You get unlimited access to everything Pennsylvania. Subscribe to PCN Select for a day or for the whole year and watch anytime, anywhere. Visit pcntv.com to subscribe today.
You're invited to the annual PA Society Dinner on Saturday, December 10th at the Waldorf Astoria in New York City. Join PCN for our live stream of the dinner and presentation of the Gold Medal for Distinguished Achievement. This year's honoree is retired CEO and founder of the Vanguard Group, John Bogle. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. online at PCN Select. The annual PA Society Dinner, only on PCN.
Order your copy of the 2016 PIAA Soccer Championships on the PCN Store. Just visit pcnstore.com. DVDs are available. Makes a great Christmas gift, obviously. Your son or daughter has played in a state championship game. What better way to keep it and preserve it for posterity? Because those DVDs will last a lifetime. And once they become sons, have their own sons and daughters, they just bring it out and make them watch it again. And you think you had it tough? This is what I did when I was playing a state championship. The AA state championship, again, we are at halftime. Quaker Valley, Lewisburg. Quaker Valley, the District 7 champion. Lewisburg, the District 4 champion. These two teams have certainly played like champions to this point in time. It'll be interesting to see how they react and how they get it rolling, and ultimately not only how they react, but how, if there is finally somebody who cracks through and gets that first goal, then what happens? It's going to be hard to say, well, they'll pick up the pace because they've been playing hard from the get-go.
I would be very surprised right now, Bob. I would be very surprised to see either one of these teams really change much of anything in the second half. Each team was dangerous. Each team defended very well in the back when they needed to. The tempo of the game was exactly what I think both coaches would like to see. Keep an eye on a couple little things here in the second half. Quaker Valley, quick restarts. They use those in the first half. If they get an opportunity in the second half to continue to push that play, try to take advantage of Lewisburg, maybe getting back a little bit late on a defensive effort, that's one of those things that they have visibly done in that first half. And as far as Lewisburg is concerned, this is a team that has been gritty and tough all season long. But the guy who drives this team has always been Joey Bangdia. In the second half, let's see if he moves a little bit more off the ball, maybe even move him a little bit out of the center from time to time and get him a little bit wider side to side. See if he gets out of that area a little bit more to maybe create a little bit more for the rest of his team.
District 4, where Lewisburg calls home. District 4 has done exceptionally well in the PIAA championship games. Overall, they are 9-2 in PIAA title games. There have been 4 of those 9 titles that have gone to the boys' sides all the way back to the first year. Wes Snyder won in 1973. Middleburg came back in 1974 with a title. Lewisburg winning in 2000, as well as winning last year in 2015. On the girls' side, South Williamsport won in 2006. Montoursville in 2008. Loyal Sock in 2009. And then Warrior Run in 2010 and 2011. Those are the 9 titles for District 4. The losses came in 2013 on the girls' side from Southern Columbia. They lost to Greensburg Central Catholic. And then last year, there was a second District 4 team in the title game as well as Lewisburg. That was East Juniata. They lost in the boys' 8th final to Sewickley Academy. So an outstanding record overall for teams out of District 4 if in fact they can get to the state championship game, going 9-2. The Green Dragons of Lewisburg in the white trying to add to that record as they face the black and white clad Quaker Valley Quakers, and ultimately it will lead to an opportunity off a corner for Lewisburg. They're obviously first of the second half. They're 4th in total.
The hard work from Zach Kratzer up top, continuing possessing, working the ball down, and winning that corner opportunity.
And so it again will be Joey Bangdia who takes the corner. Trying to get some separation out in front, trying to fend off bodies as best as possible, but nothing really out of that flurry other than another opportunity for Bangdia from one side to the other from the corner.
I don't think either coach is going to be happy about that because there's a ball that bounced off the corner in the box. That's a no-no both ways. Nobody being able to get to the ball, and I thought Adam Cole had a shot at that one to get there for Lewisburg and didn't read it well.
Bangdia headed out in front, bounced around. Kratzer gets it snuffed off his foot. It's still loose out in front.
I think Liscombe had a chance at that one too, Bob. And it was not the keeper, I don't believe. It was one of the players who was back there who was defending. That's why you have players who man each post on the corner opportunities.
So Lewisburg trying to stay with the push out of this possession. They get a couple corners out of it. Now they'll have the throw in coming up. Good toss by Liscombe. But again, right now, Quaker Valley able to clear it out. Game started with an opportunity for Lewisburg, with Bangdia having an opportunity off a direct. And then all of a sudden, Quaker Valley got the surge going, and for quite a number of minutes in that first 10, possession was clearly in Quaker Valley's side.
And what we saw there on the replay, it was Liscombe who got the shot, and it was Landon Grant who was back on the post. We featured him in the pregame for his offensive prowess. It was his defensive presence there has kept this game scoreless.
Davis Baylor on the far side now for Lewisburg. Kratzer and Bangdia in the middle. Kratzer, Bangdia knocked away by Caleb Bender before it reached Bangdia's foot.
A lot of pressure early on here. Probably the best pressure of the game so far from Lewisburg in a sustained manner.
Ian Rogers to Grant to Nate Carver. Back to Rogers. Amon Long way out, comes up with it.
He can do that because he had defensive pressure, making sure that there was really no chance of bending that ball to the back post. He was already committed to being able to close down the angle on the shot, and he did so because of some defensive help.
Harrison Grunland with the center. The touch, looking for back for Bangdia. Kratz fighting with Harkins, wins the battle for the time being, sends it into the corner, and Permiashkin will try to chase it down, but runs out of room and slips in the process. And a goal kick as a result for Quaker Valley.
Did everything he could. A bouncing ball, though, towards the end line is one that you can't really step and pull back. You have to, at that point, try to do whatever you can to bend that back in the field of play, and couldn't just keep it in.
We are 4 minutes and change into the second half. 44 minutes into this AA championship. And missed time leads for an opportunity. Bangdia up ahead for Kratzer. Zach Kratzer stops, settles, centers. Touch off the foot of Permiashkin, didn't get much on it.
Bangdia was looking for Kratzer to pull the trigger, but the ball led him just a little bit too much and wanted on his preferred right. And by the time he had been able to catch up to the ball and bring it back to his preferred foot, the defense had recovered on the play.
A rare defensive mistake for Quaker Valley on that throw, and they just simply mistimed the jump, and it led to an opportunity for Lewisburg with Kratzer and Bangdia having an advantage.
Cannot be offside on a throw-in, and when you gamble like that, you've got players who are able to sneak in behind because of that rule.
Another nice play by Caleb Bender.
He had to step in at center back for 5 minutes in the first half, and he's showing his defensive prowess at the defensive center mid position that he now mans.
Permiashkin to Adam Cole to Nate Liscomb. To Will Brock. Again, looking ahead for Bangdia. He can't get there in time.
He's a sprinter, but he's not quite that fast.
Yeah, if he were any faster, those orange shoes would just burst into flames.
The thing about him, though, too, is one of the hardest workers, and you'll see that with your top players, is they will continue to push themselves. They understand that the game no longer is trying to get better than other people. It's trying to improve yourself and improve your team.
He has played 6 postseason games in district playoffs, and now these 3 state playoff games has Joey Bangdia. And in those 6 postseason games, 10 total goals and 6 assists to go along with it. 2 goals and an assist in the first round win over Wyoming Seminary, 2 assists and against Lower Moreland in that come from behind win, a 2-1 win over Lower Moreland, the District 1 champion, and then 2 goals in the win over Lansdale Catholic. Both goals, I should be more precise, in the win over Lansdale Catholic. Again, Lower Moreland was on the verge of knocking Lewisburg out of this tournament. They were up 1-0 with 5 minutes left to go. The Green Dragons got the equalizer and then won it in overtime to get to the semifinals, and then beats Lansdale Catholic 2-1 in the semifinal.
And that was played on a very tight field at Cedar Crest High School. And what people don't know sometimes about fields in soccer, you can have varying widths of fields. This Lewisburg team wants to have a wide surface because of how fast they are, as would Quaker Valley. And in that game, they were sort of constricted a little bit because of a tighter field.
Kratzer with the touch to get it away from one defender, but there and doing a nice job of cleaning it up was Duff Klaber for Quaker Valley. Now we're going to get a whistle and a foul called, this time against the Quakers. Seven and a half minutes into the second half, 47.5 minutes into the match. Still scoreless. No one could get high enough. Harkins again tried to get above everyone else, but he too couldn't get there. And it ends up as a goal kick for Dom Lagnese, sophomore keeper for Quaker Valley. Wicker to Grant. Poked away momentarily by Grunland. Caleb Bender in the middle. Left side for Fritz Ryder. Looks for Hubsch, taken away from him by Will Brock. To the middle for Bangdia.
I think that may be one of the things that Quaker Valley did extremely well in the early going, and had gotten away from it a little bit more because they'd had some success going a little bit more direct. And that is possessing the back, working in the defense, trying to work it from side to side and find some openings.
Nate Carver headed up ahead. Here's Ian Rogers. Rogers gets some separation. Center almost headed their own goal as Lewisburg got up high. That was Will Brock who got up there, and he almost put it in his own.
And just misdirected where that was intended to go. Now he will go back as a result of the corner to man the far post.
Quaker Valley had 6 of them in the first half, unable to convert. The 7th coming up from Landon Grant. This one perhaps carrying too far. And right back off the foot, but there for the save is Ryan Amon.
And that's why as a goalie, you move your players after the initial corner kick, you move them up. So you have space, and there's no ricochets right in front of him. He got a clean look at that one, stayed home, and was in great position.
So the save for Ryan Amon keeps us scoreless as we approach 10 minutes into the second half. Davis Baylor. This fires on his intended pass to Joey Bangdia.
And offside going to be called previous to that. You had a Lewisburg player who was in an offside position come back to try to play that ball. There's a young man who has played very well in this one. Owen Harkins has been a stud back there in the back. No passing him thus far.
He has also contributed on the offensive side as well in this state championship run for Quaker Valley. They beat Shadyside Academy, as I mentioned, in the district championship game 2-1. He had both goals in that match, and he also had his goal in the next game in the first round playoff game over Bald Eagle area. So he has done it on both ends of the field for the Quakers. Been outstanding defensively today.
You see a lot of center backs who have been converted from other places in the field and are back there because, one, their size, and two, because of their calm on the ball. But on set pieces, many times your top center backs are your best finishers.
And he has had a couple of opportunities, or tried to have a couple of opportunities off of some of these corner kicks that Quaker Valley has been so prevalent with so far today. As we'll get our first substitution of the second half. Aaron Moyer saw a lot of minutes in the first half. We'll check in now for the first time in the second half, and Permiashkin will come out. Again, 7 corner kicks so far in this match for Quaker Valley. As Liscombe will put this one back into play. Baylor runs a long way to try to maintain control, tries to feed it to Kratzer, but it's stripped away, taken away by Nate Carver. Cole for the center. Baylor can't get to it. Walter Hubsch gets a foot on it for Quaker Valley. Offsides as Zach Kratzer got a little bit too far out ahead, and Lewisburg is not happy.
It's the right call. Kratzer had started his run, and I'm watching just the timing of everything, and I thought he was a half a step early in trying to move. He had to hesitate also trying to stay on side. He thought he had done it, but I think they got that one right. They were the ones with the best angle on it.
This game has been very well played by these two teams, and it's been a very aggressive game, and there's been some pushing, there's been some shoving, and the officials have maintained control of it. They've done a great job. Kurt Kohler, Ryan Dunkel, Tim Maurer getting the opportunity to call this state championship game. It's an honor for the guys in the black and white jerseys as well to get the call to get the state championship game, and these three have responded.
And it's a difficult game to officiate because it's very rare that you see a game that's this highly paced. You're not used to seeing play at this sort of a level and at this sort of speed.
There's one loose out in front as Lagnese couldn't field it. Kratzer trying to get free, couldn't do so. Maybe took too long to pull the trigger.
He couldn't get the handle on the ball initially, and I thought Bangdia could have maybe even tried to turn and fire something, but thought he was going to drop it back to Kratzer, and his first touch betrayed him.
Meantime, the heartbeat of Dom Lagny's got a lot faster as he fumbled that ball out in front. Went to make the catch, and it just simply slipped out of his fingertips.
Second time in this game we've seen him have some trouble getting the handle. The first one was the very first effort that was taken by Lewisburg all the way back in the second minute.
When you have a team with the firepower of the Green Dragons, nothing can make you more nervous when you know you had an opportunity to control it and could not if you're the keeper. Kratzer, Bangdia, far side, Baylor won't get there.
Boy, and that was an opportunity for Lewisburg because you looked at Quaker Valley. Let's take a look at this again. Bobbling that ball, sort of cross-footing himself. Bangdia didn't turn because he had his back to the goal, and then by the time Kratzer was able to finally get the handle on it, it was too late.
Here comes Nate Carver, trying to stop, center, can't get an angle.
In the first half, it was Quaker Valley who had the advantage early, and then Lewisburg sort of settled more into the game and played more their style, and it was a lot more even and a little bit more Lewisburg towards the end of the first half. This second half has been mostly Lewisburg with the pressure, with the attack, with the opportunities.
Frankie Fernandez into the game for the first time in the second half. Saw a lot of minutes in the first half. He'll come in. Nate Carver will come out. Fernandez, a freshman. Carver, a senior.
Coach Kratzer and Coach Kettlewell have to be very pleased right now with the chances that their team is creating. The problem right now is they can't be happy with the finishing that they're getting. It hasn't worked out so far, and they have been knocking on the door. You got to think, though, if you keep giving yourself chance after chance, something eventually will happen on the positive side. But sometimes it's not the game of soccer.
And you mentioned it at halftime. It's not as if either of the goalies has had to stand on their head necessarily to make a save. They've been tested here and there, and they've had some difficulties themselves as well on some bobbles. But none of it has resulted in an opportunity for anybody to break what is a scoreless tie.
Sometimes the best goalieing is done not by fantastic saves, but by great positioning. And both these keepers have done that so far, and they've made maybe some saves that might normally look a little bit more difficult. They've made them look routine.
Baylor looking for a closing Zach Kratzer a closing Adam Cole too far out in front. We close inside now of 24 minutes remaining in this AA championship game. Sunny skies have gone away. Again, there is some rain in the forecast later on in the day. Right now we're playing under some cloudy skies, so one of the issues that you face playing here at Hershey Park Stadium is the day games often one side, the keeper, is looking into the sun. That's no longer the case with the cloudy skies. The sun would be favoring Lewisburg. It would be to their back if that were the case. Winds pretty calm right now. They do pick up from time to time. You'll feel a gust. You'll see a gust. You'll see the flags kick up. But right now they're calm as Michael Permiashkin, that is. The senior will check back in.
And the ball with a dangerous throw in. And Liscombe has gotten some good air on some of these. Let's see if he can get another one in the box.
Permiashkin comes in giving Davis Baylor a breather. Touch pass off the foot of Aaron Moyer. Moyer fends to get it back.
And well cleared by Quaker Valley. Initially, that was Will Brock who sent the ball over on that side with the opportunity for Moyer. And Moyer actually did well to even one time volley that ball towards the net.
Grunland into Kratzer, back to Grunland, to Moyer, back to Liscombe.
6 different players touched the ball for Lewisburg, but again, unable to get a shot away. And here comes Quaker Valley on the counter.
Ike Lagnice, the goalie's older brother. Ike, the senior, Dom, the sophomore. And Ike Lagnice does a great job of taking it away from Zach Kratzer, and now he's trying to push forward and making something happen for Quaker Valley as the Quakers have been backpedaling for most of this second half. Kratzer again trying to do a little bit too much right now on the individual side of things, and he's just not getting the space. He's not winning the battle. Here he is again.
He's a hard-working guy, though, and he's going to continue fighting up there and do whatever he can. You can marvel at the fact that he's only had 3 weeks of match fitness and has been able to put out the effort that he has so far. I remember him even coming out in the first half.
Again, high IQ, obviously. His dad, one of the co-head coaches, Skip Kratzer, his father, along with Ben Kettlewell, the co-head coaches for the Lewisburg Green Dragons. A combination that has gone 28-1 in this 2-year run. Out in front, Amon able to get it and fend off the hard-charging Quaker Valley Quakers. John Wicker.
Nice communication in the back between Wilson Fisher, one of the center backs, and Roosevelt.
Kratzer, Cole, Bangdia. Poked away by Harkins.
And every time Bangdia has the ball, 2 people are immediately looking at him.
And usually one of them is number 4 in black and white, and that's Owen Harkins.
Offside going to be the call against Quaker Valley. And you mentioned Harkins. Harkins tends to settle in on the right side of the 2 center backs for Quaker Valley, which raises the question then for Bangdia, if Harkins is the guy that keeps defending him, move him over to the other side. Let's see what he can do on that other side of the field where Harkins does not reside.
Wicker centering pass, Ian Rogers, one-timer over the top.
And the lightning quickness of how fast Quaker Valley gets down the field. And just looking inside, great bending ball sent by Wicker. And Rogers just not quite able to get that final touch to it.
Couple of substitutions coming in for Quaker Valley is Dom Ryder. Freshman saw some time in the first half back in. Back in for Lewisburg is Mateo Barnes. Barnes, a junior.
Yeah, 2 defenders back there. Grunland on the near side who couldn't catch up, and then Roosevelt on the backside who had given up a half a step to Rogers.
Adam Cole feeds it ahead. Bangdia cannot run it down. 60 minutes in, we remain scoreless. Quaker Valley started this season actually 1-2-1. They played it in a tournament at Exeter High School in Berks County, and they ended up coming out of there with a loss and a tie, a loss to Fleetwood and a tie with Exeter, and then they lost early on to Peters Township for that 1-2-1 start before the Quakers got it rolling. They lost later on in the season to Sewickley Academy and to Cannon McMillan for their 4 losses and a tie to go along with their 20 wins. Lewisburg 23-1. That lone loss over the course of this 2-year run. It came back on October the 1st. They lost 2-1 to State College, a 4A school. And they have won 12 straight since that loss to the Little Lions.
And since that time also, they have outscored their opponents in the last 2 years of play by a combined total of 239-17. That is amazing stuff. And as great as Logan Cho was a year ago, they've actually given up 1 less goal this season than they did last year when he was in the place.
Yeah, just 8 goals on the year in 24 games played. There's a ball mishit by Quaker Valley, so it'll be Lewisburg's possession.
I'm going to say Langnese got a piece of the arm more so. Instead of trying to get that shoulder to it, it got a little bit too low, so the handball make it indirect.
118. Away.
Off the foot of Wilson Fisher.
Again. Out.
Volleyed around, cleared away by Ike Langnese.
And Bangdia will take a lot of the free kicks in a dangerous situation, like on the offensive side when it could be a shot or maybe even a cross. Wilson Fisher's the guy who is the deep leg and for the free kicks further up the field.
Bangdia controls, clears himself some space. To Adam Cole. Cole trying to work through a double team. Bump, foul.
And foul on Cole as he pushed, as he knew he had gotten squeezed off on the play. Bangdia that time a target player as they move Kratzer off to the side and have him play off of Bangdia. And Bangdia holding the ball up very well, was looking for Cole. I don't think Cole really recognized it right away, and that tendency actually slowed that play down and didn't allow the connection.
Michael Permiashkin trying to control it on the far side now for Lewisburg. A couple of substitutions both ways. Coming in for Lewisburg, Davis Baylor, Zach Kratzer back in. And back in as well for the Quakers comes John Wicker.
And don't think for a second that these substitutions both ways aren't valuable at this point, especially the closer we tick to where one goal could very well be a championship winning goal for either one of these teams. Fatigue has to be a factor at some point with the pace this game has gone since the outset.
Nobody's made that crucial mistake that's opened up the door for either team to get through.
On my shoulder, on my shoulder, on my shoulder. Step, Tom, step.
Boyer, Kratzer, nice job this time to work off a defender. Feeds it out for Grunland. Grunland centering pass too hard. Bangdia still will stay after it. Bangdia back to Brock. Davis Baylor tried to time it, could not do so.
Couple of great opportunities in just now have they relieved the pressure.
Kratzer right back to try to reapply that pressure.
When Lewisburg goes side to side, it really puts a lot of pressure on the defensive back four for Quaker Valley to try to adjust on the fly.
Inside of 15 minutes remaining in regulation of this AA championship, we remain scoreless.
Lewisburg continues to play Bangdia in an advanced position. They've actually dropped Kratzer more into the midfield now to try to free up their star player a little bit further up the field.
Centering from Wicker, that's too high, and Amon couldn't get there. Did he touch it? No, he did not. So it's a goal kick coming up for the Green Dragons.
And life passing in front of eyes there for Amon as he recognized that ball that he thought was going to be across and was intended to be across ended up going a lot closer to that back post. That did not miss by a whole lot. That would have been that something special that might be required to get somebody on the board in this game. An angle like that.
Still two more matches yet to come in this run of state championship soccer. The Quad A championships yet to be determined. The girls championship is up next. Cannon McMillan takes on Central Buck South. And our coverage will conclude with the boys Quad A championship, Conestoga taking on Elizabethtown. All that comes with still 13 minutes left to go here in this boys AA game. Got a lot darker here at Hershey Park Stadium. They do not have the lights on as of yet. Cloud cover takes away what had been a really sunny morning and a sunny start to this afternoon game as well.
That's exactly what I was thinking too, but that's maybe just from our vantage point. I think the referees will probably call for that at some point, especially if we would go into extra time.
I think we just made it happen. We were godlike. All of a sudden the lights came on.
Poof.
We said light, we said let there be light, and it happened. I knew if I said it enough times, sooner or later it would work. 12 and a half minutes left to play in the AA game, and maybe shedding some light on an opportunity to score. If we want to take that just a step further, Michael Permiashkin will check back into the game now for Lewisburg.
If only everything worked that way. Just say the word goal and it's going to happen here.
Let me call for a sandwich and see what happens. 0-0 is our score. Quaker Valley and Lewisburg working their magic against one another in this boys AA championship. Here's Adam Cole with a little touch looking for Permiashkin in the corner. Harkins will get there first for Quaker Valley. Permiashkin fends him off. He gets it back to Cole. Cole can't get the angle.
He rushed that one. He knew he didn't have much time, but tremendous individual effort from Permiashkin over on that left side to win the possession and quickly toe the ball to Cole, who I think really was surprised that Permiashkin not only got it to him, but got it to him in such a great position to take a quick shot and wasn't quite ready for it.
I'm about to ask you, the nerves are what the nerves are in the championship game, but you start to play, you become an aggressive player because of all the opportunities that are going on there. But at some point in time, you're going to look back over your shoulder, you're going to look at the scoreboard, and you're going to think, hey, we're running out of time here. At what point in time does that clock get a little bit tighter inside your head and panic start to set in?
With it nothing, it doesn't. I think that's the key right now. If you're behind, the clock matters. With it not being there, you don't really think, I don't think, as much about the clock, except it's on the defensive end you don't. On the offensive end, maybe you press a little bit more because you haven't been able to score yet. But I think for the most part, the clock's really a non-factor until somebody scores.
The middle of the field, Bangdia to Kratzer to Permiashkin. Caleb Bender in the middle of things again for Quaker Valley. Beats it ahead to Walter Hubsch. To the middle of the field to Landon Grant. He's been very quiet in this second half after a really active first half as Landon Grant. Pushed from behind, foul, called. Here comes an opportunity for Quaker Valley.
And that's the speed of Grant and how fast he is on the ball, and where he doesn't really slow down in the middle of his dribble. He just takes off on you. And the only thing that Liscombe could do to try to catch up to him is try to get a little bit over physical and a chance for the ball to be sent in the box.
From 32 yards out, Grant. First one there, I believe, was Nate Liscombe.
Makes up for the foul by clearing that ball away.
Kratzer back on the defensive half for Lewisburg here. To the middle of the field for Grant. To Hubsch. Walter Hubsch to the far side.
Help him, Sam, help him. High!
That's Frankie Fernandez on that side trying to get free. And a corner kick is going to be the end result coming up. Now again, Landon Grant will try his 8th corner kick of this match.
And Fernandez showing that youthful exuberance, throwing caution to the wind, going right at the defense, and may have caught Lewisburg off guard because the best they could do is send it over the end line for that corner.
Grant sets it up.
Yeah, that's us.
And another whistle. They're going to say last touched by Lewisburg, and another corner kick right back for Landon Grant, right back, same spot.
Green Dragons disagree with that one. Let's see if he goes a little deeper on this one. He's been going short a lot of times when it's been on that side with the in-swinger.
A little bit more height on this one.
And Harkins actually ricochets the ball backwards. And you see another one of those things on that play. You can see the wide angle. Great job by our crew of showing that ball sent back in. But because the defensive line has moved up so far, nobody from Quaker Valley can make that run back in. And it's an easy catch and grab for Ryan Amon.
You're watching live coverage of the boys AA state championship game from Hershey Park Stadium. A huge weekend in high school sports all around the Commonwealth. Again, there's the girls volleyball championships being played right now as we speak in Johnstown at Richland High School, and field hockey being played as well in Whitehall, or at Whitehall High School in the Lehigh Valley. You can watch it live on the PCN Select app. Go to PCNTV.com and find out more information. You also watch replays of the game throughout the games throughout the weekend. We'll have some volleyball for you tonight, and the field hockey and the remainder of the volleyball coverage, all on tape delay basis here on PCN all throughout this weekend. As fall sports season starts to wind its way towards its conclusion on a championship weekend.
Great job by Rosevier on the other end, helping his keeper. He was a little late to react.
Lewisburg trying to make something happen. Baylor. Adam Cole back to Baylor. Hubsch gets it ahead for Ian Rogers. He's marked. And last touch by Rogers.
It's getting a lot closer to the time, though, too, where both teams realize you're able to get one in, it pretty much gives you a championship. It's been so closely contested, very physical contest, very fast-paced. May just take one moment of brilliance here to bring home a title.
Would be an unfortunate thing, but it also could be one slip-up.
We've seen that several times over the years. Where is that one unfortunate deflection that goes against you that ends up costing you?
6 minutes, 10 seconds remaining. Where will it come from? How will it happen to win this AA championship? Rogers with the header just trickles wide.
And Lewisburg is really nonchalant going down that side, allowing the cross pretty easily down that left-hand side. And when Rogers knocked the ball back, Amon, I guess, had a good look at it, but they just allowed that ball to go over and shelter and preferring the goal kick. Watch this again. They sort of allowing that space on that side. Rogers gets in there. You had two guys, and this was a little less nonchalant than I thought, but it was a close opportunity for Rogers, who has been rather quiet here in the second half.
John Wicker checks back in now for Quaker Valley with 5.5 to play.
And Andrew Marshall is now off the bench now for Quaker Valley. He's been probably one of the calmest individuals in the entire stadium during this second half, sitting there just patiently watching his team do things, and now finally is up.
Jeremy Ashkin trying to fight for control, can't get that control.
Great job by Lagnice on the back end, being able to keep him away from that ball. Lagnice, not a big guy at 5'8", but is able to make that play.
That's Ike Lagnice, the defender, as opposed to Dom Lagnice, the keeper. And now we're getting a whistle as the play gets a little bit ragged.
We're going to talk to both players this time.
Now they're talking to two Lewisburg players.
Right. Liscomb was the first guy who challenged. The second guy who challenged was Kratzer. Liscomb already has a yellow in this game. I don't think he's going to get one. Kratzer was close to getting one in the first half, and they didn't give him one, and they once again will not show one here for either one of these players. That would take them past the end of regulation if they would have shown yellow.
The officials don't want to make this call at this point in time. When I say that, what I'm saying is they don't want to make a call that's going to favor one way or another. But now it's just been changed on the other end, as the yellow card is going to come in the direction of the head coach for Quaker Valley.
And I think what Coach Marshall is over there complaining about is, look, this is a lot of different challenges, and now at this point, when are you going to do something to help my team out as far as protecting them? And voicing his displeasure, he has shown the yellow.
When I say they don't want to make the call, I don't mean they don't want to make a big call. They don't want to make a call that gives the team an advantage if they don't have to. They want the decision to be made by the players on the field. And so that was why the discussion was being made, to say, look, you're having a great game. Let's make this and win this the right way. Hermie Ashkin settled by Kratzer. 4.5 to play. Kratzer to the right side. Off the foot and off the side, just a little bit too wide. I believe that was Will Brock with the opportunity.
Great step from Brock, recognizing that they had great spacing for him to make a run from the right back position. The patience of Kratzer holding the ball up, waiting for something to develop. Perfectly weighted pass, and the ball sprawls just wide.
Inside of 4 minutes now remaining. The players on the pitch have remained calm. The fans beneath us, maybe not so much. They're starting to get a little bit antsy in the crowd, trying to urge their team on to a state title.
And we do have a yellow card here, and you knew this was going to come on the next hard challenge, and Will Brock's the guy who has to go off to the side. That's your right back. It's a guy who's been active on the offensive end in this game, and what they have to do for Lewisburg is bring somebody in who I don't think we've seen Reese Moore so far in this game.
He has not been in this match yet, so he comes in with 3:49 left to play.
Welcome to the game, young man. As a junior, you get an opportunity to play a very pressure-packed last 4 minutes of regulation time.
Yeah, play defense, don't let him score, because we're in a state championship. 3:49 left to play.
Easy instructions.
I'm sure that's what they said to him when he runs onto the field in this spot. Big spot, but again, Lewisburg just pushed that needle a little bit too far, and the yellow card came.
I don't think that the yellow shown to Coach Marshall for Quaker Valley didn't also get the ear of the officials. You knew as soon as that card came to Andrew Marshall on the side for Quaker Valley that next hard challenge was going to produce one.
And the Quakers try to take advantage on one hop from midfield. It ends up right in the breadbasket of the keeper, Ryan Amon.
Great opportunity there. And unfortunately for Quaker Valley, Caleb Bender, I don't think recognized that ball was going to come all the way through. Any sort of deflection gets a goal.
Ike Lagnese brings it back in for Harkins. Harkins trying to push it up ahead, looking for Dom Ryder. Wind starts to pick up as well. Right now the wind at the back of the Quakers. Zach Kratzer looks for Joey Bangdia, makes one man miss. Bangdia, defenders start to swarm around and Bangdia pulls the trigger, gets enough, gets it home. Joey Bangdia just inside the 3-minute mark gives Lewisburg the first lead of the game.
It was a moment of brilliance from Joey Bangdia, making the proper run down the hash, cutting back to the inside with a great dribble, and then knowing that he had to do anything he could to get that shot off into a stiff wind as well, is able to fire the ball, get a slight deflection, and for the first time beat Dom Lagnese.
By the time it finally crossed the goal mouth, there wasn't a whole lot of steam on it. It barely reached the net. That's how weakly it had gotten there, but he got enough off the deflection to get it home. Here it is.
Kratzer, the lead pass, the step by Bangdia, the just great move to the inside against three defenders, hits one. I think Lagnese had it if it wouldn't have deflected. And that unfortunate bounce for the Quakers puts them less than 3 minutes away from picking up silver.
His 25th of the season, his 11th of this state championship run for Lewisburg. This 2016 state championship run, may I add. They're looking for the repeat, and they are now 2 minutes, 25 seconds away from goal. 1-0 our score comes at the 77th minute of this match.
And you can never let down or underestimate the speed of your opponent, especially when it's Joey Bangdia. It was just a very subtle thing, but Bangdia able to get there.
Whoa. And again, the wind picking up furious here, and it's starting to play a little bit of havoc as that one blew itself. And fortunately for Lewisburg, it blew it high and over the top of the goal mouth as Ryan Amon couldn't get there.
And this is when I'm constantly going to be sending substitutes up to the line if the coaches for Lewisburg, just doing anything I can to get this thing to the finish line.
And the other piece of that is the kick from Ryan Amon, the goal kicks. It's just you're blowing it, it's blowing into the stiff wind, so it's coming right back at you. Here comes Fritz Ryder. Quaker Valley looking for a push inside of 90 seconds to play.
This will be desperate defending, and Reese Moore is now in the pressure cooker over there because of that yellow card. Gets the head to that ball. He's performed well in the last 2 minutes.
Lewisburg now just trying to set it ahead. Eat time on the clock. Forces Lagnese to come out and come get it. Can't get much on it. And Permiashkin will be the first one to run to it. Michael Permiashkin up ahead to Bangdia, to Adam Cole. Cole behind Bangdia. Baylor runs it down. Back to the middle to Adam Cole. Gets it right at Lagnese. Lagnese playing hurry up inside of 40 seconds to play. Back come the Quakers. Hubsch trying to run towards it. Gets it across midfield. Walter Hubsch settles it ahead. Feed it up ahead, looking for a charging Landon Grant with the wind too much out in front, and Amon will field it with 25 seconds to go.
The wind was the thing that really took that one away from a scoring opportunity for Quaker Valley. Many times coaches would love to have that wind at the back. This is a time when it's hurt them.
Final 10 seconds as Lewisburg gets it into the clear. Quaker Valley needs to play with a frantic pace. Can they get it down one more time? Lewisburg will head it away, and Lewisburg will take home the championship. A phenomenal boys AA championship game goes to the Green Dragons for the second straight year. They win it. Lewisburg 1, Quaker Valley nothing. We'll take a break. We'll come back with a well-earned medal ceremony in the boys AA final when we return live on PCN.
If you think the level of competition is impressive, wait till you see the level of coverage. High school meets high impact with MaxPreps.com, America's most comprehensive source for high school sports. Find out how your local teams compare, who's in the hunt to be state champs, and which teams and players are leaving their stamp on the national stage. Get pumped on your high school teams. Log on to MaxPreps.com.
These days, life is busy, but amazing. From the sci-fi brilliance of technology to the existence of toast, we move at a crazy pace until this happens. Time for MedExpress. Walk right in, get the care you need, and get right back at it. MedExpress, because life is urgent.
Packed with 9 essential nutrients, low-fat chocolate milk can be an important part of your recovery routine. Refuel with chocolate milk after your next workout.
PCN Sports has always been your ticket for exclusive access to high school and collegiate games across the state. That ticket just got better. Watch whenever and wherever you go. You never have to miss the big game with the PCN Select app. PCN Sports and the PCN Select app. For on-the-go sports fans, it is the best seat you can get. Are you ready for some football? The 2016 High School Football Championships kick off Thursday, December 8th, and make it to the end zone Saturday, December 10th. A full weekend of high school football championships. You can catch them all live on cable with PCN or streamed live on PCN Select. Go to PCNTV.com for the complete schedule or to subscribe to PCN Select.
PIAA Boys Soccer Championship. Everything it could have been. It comes down to the final couple of minutes. 2 minutes, 58 seconds remaining in the match. And finally, somebody gets it home, and it was Joey Bangdia who got the goal. And as a result of that, Lewisburg is your champion. Right now, it's medal ceremony time. First, Quaker Valley will get the silver. Lewisburg will get the gold.
John Wicker, Owen Brown, Oliver Wilson, Ian Rogers, Landon Grant, Caleb Bender, Sebastian Correa, Quinn Borchett, Dom Blacknees, Antonio Brown, Nolan Carver, Pierce Diggins, David Lipton, Toma David, Will Andrews, Frankie Fernandez, Dom Ryder, Colm Lang, Fritz Ryder, TJ McCloskey, Thomas Gill, and Reese Edwards. And now we would ask that captains Owen Harkins, John Wicker, Walter Hubich, and Landon Grant please step forward as you are presented with the 2016 PIAA AA Boys Runner-Up Trophy. Congratulations to the Quakers of Quaker Valley High School. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing your 2016 PIAA AA Boys champions, the Green Dragons of Lewisburg Area High School. Co-head coaches Ben Kettlewell and Skip Kratzer to bestow the medals, starting with Davis Baylor, Joseph Bangdia, William Brock, Adam Cole, Ryan Amon, Wilson Fisher, Harrison Brundlin, Zachary Kratzer, Michael Permiashkin, Samuel Rosevar, Eli Winnett, Mateo Bernis, Thomas Bangdia, Cade Diefendorfer, Austin Gerlinski, Nathaniel Liscombe, Samuel Miller, Reese Moore, Michael Wallen, Sebastian Guerrero, Ryan Veloz, William Lother, Logan Moore, Aaron Moyer, Joshua Nichols, Anders Dollard, Peter Marara, Sawyer Fisher, Peter Lance, Cole Temple, the managers, Jack Host, Ben Liscombe, assistant coaches, Terry Gerlinski, Larry Winans, and Green Dragons co-head coaches, Ben Kettlewell and Skip Kratzer. And now we would ask that the Lewisburg seniors please step forward as you are presented with the 2016 PIAA AA Boys Championship Trophy. Let's congratulate the Green Dragons of Lewisburg Area High School. They are also being presented with a 5-pound Hershey bar, compliments of Chocolate World. Congratulations.
And so there you have it. There's your medal ceremonies, and here's how it ultimately unfurled. Again, 2 minutes and 58 seconds remaining in the match. We were scoreless up until the opportunity. Kratzer to Joey Bangdia makes one man miss, works his way into traffic, and then just gets enough off the deflection, trickles home, and there's your game winner, Joey Bangdia, the game winner for the Green Dragons.
And just one story to relay, and talking to co-head coach Skip Kratzer before the game, he talked about his former second grade steward, Joey Bangdia, who he had in second grade, and the 8-year-old at that time looked at him and said, "Coach, we're going to win a state championship someday." Well, he was wrong. They've won 2 now, and his right foot is a big reason why. What a tremendous finish to this game. Hats off to both these teams. What a phenomenal game between 2 very evenly matched teams. And as you see so many times, when you have games between evenly matched teams, it's a moment of brilliance. And we saw that out of Joey Bangdia to bring the title back to Lewisburg for the 2nd straight year.
And so that's the separation between the two. Quaker Valley finishes 25 20 wins, 5 losses, and a tie. District 7 champions, PIAA runner-up. Lewisburg Green Dragons, 24-1, and now 49-1 in this 2-year run of state championships. The District 4 champions are your PIAA champions as well in boys Class 2A. The final score, the Green Dragons of Lewisburg are your boys AA champions. They beat Quaker Valley by a score of 1-0. For my colleague Brian Kaiser, my name is Bob McCool, and for all of our crew here on PCN, thanks for watching a great, entertaining soccer match. We've got more coming your way later on today. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Want to relive this championship? Visit the store online to order DVDs, Blu-ray, and now digital downloads. To order, visit PCNstore.com or call 1-866-726-8433.